Good morning, people. Today is Sunday, April 7th, 2024. Here we are in wonderful Pahrump. Hello, Wadabebi. And this is Department of Career Services, but actually today's G.school, where we are going to spend some time talking about the most important aspect of our life, which is the spiritual side. So here, our 4-part transformational program designed to get you from where you are to someplace better focuses 4 parts, focuses on physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. On the weekends, we do the spiritual, which we call G.school. Let's see, that's a red, what is that, a red rabbit? Red rabbit, Wadabebi. So we focus on Sundays, on Saturday and Sunday on G.school, the spiritual side, because it is actually the most important. If you think about it, the universe is about 13.8 billion years old. We're going to live to be about 100, and in a time scale, that is like on a road that's 4.5 miles long. Our part of it is less than the width of a human hair. So, and so that's like from here to Highway 372. From on 160, heading south to 372 is about 4.5 miles. Our time is equal to less than the width of a hair. Our time on Earth alive. Okay, so we're talking about eternity, people. We're talking about eternity. We have a little bit of suffering for the length of time that's equal to less than width of hair, for the opportunity for everlasting life. Okay. The point is, it's important. Okay. The spiritual stuff is important. We overlook it. Most people don't give it a thought, or most people say, I'm spiritual, but they have no idea what that means. They think it just means be a good person, do good, avoid evil. But in this book, I had my thing yesterday, my class. He doesn't say, he says, it's not sufficient merely to do good and avoid evil. Rather, we must do good and struggle against evil. Right. So to say, I'm spiritual, doesn't really have any meaning in the cosmic sense, in the spiritual sense. If you're Hindu, know it. If you're Buddhist, know it. To say I'm spiritual is just a lazy way to mean I don't need to do any work. I just need to act in a way that's pleasing to me. What about the people suffering? Okay, so we focus on the spiritual stuff on the weekends, G.school, and it actually is the most important. And this morning, it seemed to me that if you're in alignment, if you're in proper alignment spiritually, you don't have internal stress. You have the ability to be detached, the ability to be detached from the problems of the world. You're not given in to external things pulling at you, like creating addictions. So you look the way you're supposed to look. You have the right amount of muscle mass, the right amount of body fat. Your skin is the right kind of color. Ooh, that was weird. My screen went black. the right color and everything else in your system. And if you are out of alignment, you have too much stress, then something's wrong. Okay, so let's do a thought experiment to test your level of spirituality. Well, actually, this is for people who are claim to be Christians. And after my first class in Christology, after the very first class in an introduction to Christology, it's appearing that most people who call themselves Christians are really not, and I will start calling them Paulists or New Testamentarians, but not Christians. They don't follow Jesus. They follow the New Testament and the Old Testament. Maybe they're Bibalians. Bible. How about that? How does that sound? What about Bibalians? They're not Christians, they're Bibalians. They believe in the Bible. So here's how it looks to me. Imagine you're out on the street. Across the street is a department store. Or it could be Walmart. I don't really see many department stores now, but let's say it's a department store that has multiple floors. Kind of like used to go into the shopping malls and there'd be a Macy's or a Sears and there would be different floors. So let's picture that. There's a 4-story department store. You walk in to the lobby, sort of like IKEA, which is only 2 stories, but you walk in and you have a choice. You can just keep going into the showroom, first floor, or you can walk up a flight of stairs, or you can take an elevator. But it's kind of designed for you to go up the stairs, because when you're on the inside, you can see in the middle of the room, there's more escalators going up to the 2nd floor. So you're trying to figure out, what do I do? Do I go, I'm in the lobby, do I go into the store, to the main showroom? Do I go up the stairs? Do I take the escalator? I've never been here before. And it is designed to get you to go walking through the main floor. So you do that. You walk through the main floor, and there's a lot of interesting stuff here, there, everywhere. You can spend all day, literally, you can spend all day going through the different sections of the main floor. So let's say it's got household goods, automotive stuff, yard care stuff, home decor stuff, appliances. It's got all kinds of things there. So you go through that, and it's all really interesting and curious. So you go through there. So you go through, you don't come back to the lobby. You work your way through the bottom floor, and then you decide to go up to the 2nd floor. The 2nd floor is pretty basic, simple stuff. It's just clothes, and not really exotic clothes. There's the men's clothes, the women's clothes. In the clothes, there's the shirts and pants and jackets. And it's all pretty simple, easy to understand, easily laid out. Whereas in the bottom, it was really different stuff. And you kind of had to spend time to figure out what it was. But here, it's just really simple and obvious. And it's easy to say, got it. Okay, if I need any clothes, here's where I come. What's on the 3rd floor? You go up to the 3rd floor. And now here is all of the, let's say, I don't know if the right word is the accoutrements, but the accessory type stuff. So it's the belts, and it's not just a belt, it's different types of belts and colors of belts. not just different sizes. They're all different types of belts and wallets and bracelets and necklaces and all kinds of things that go along with clothing, scarves and hats and sunglasses and all kinds of everything you could imagine. Exotic socks, not exotic, but maybe exotic socks, different fabrics, different colors, different styles. More elaborate boots, seasonal type, not just seasonal, but let's say special occasion type of clothing. Here's the Christmas clothes, the Easter clothes, the Halloween clothes. Here's that stuff. That's not on the second floor. The second floor is the blocking and tackling stuff. So the really interesting stuff that goes along with the stuff on the second floor is actually on the third floor. And you could spend a lot of time there. You need stuff from the second floor, but that's easy. You know exactly where to find it. You can go back down to the second floor, get what you want, come back up to the third floor, and really embellish it. Give it color, give it flavor, give it style. Give it style. And then there's the fourth floor, which is the really strange stuff. Let's just leave it. It's the strange type of stuff. The stuff that has a lot of symbolism. It's not just what you see is what you get. It's one step beyond. So it might have things like incense and crystals and different colored glass and beads and rocks and stuff like that. Stuff that in themselves have meaning. Whereas on the other three floors, they are stuff to accentuate you. The stuff on the fourth floor has meaning in itself, and you can possess this stuff that has meaning, and it will enrich you. Okay, so you got it? Okay, that is how it appears to me to the everyday man, not the theologian, not the pastor, but to the everyday man who is not a Christian, who is a pre-Christian. That's what they face. Is they're brought in to the main floor, which is the Old Testament, and you get the Old Testament, and it's all of this stuff, and you can spend a tremendous amount of time in the Old Testament, and you lose sight of where you're going. You go up to the second floor. Okay, I got it. Yeah. I'm really kind of overwhelmed from down below because there was so much stuff, Proverbs and this book and that book and the Psalms and Moses and Abraham and Jacob and Job and all of these people and Esther and on and Noah and on and on and on and Moses. On and on and on, all of these names, all of these peoples, keeping track of it. I'm really, Jesus, yeah, got it. All right, so yeah, he's a guy, he died for my sins. Cool, got it. And then I go up to the third floor, which is the rest of the New Testament, the epistles and things like that, the Paul stuff. And it tells me what Jesus meant. It tells me how to be a Christian. It stitches together the Old Testament and the New Testament, but it tells me how to be a Christian. It tells me how to be a Christian. Good morning, Mitch. Good to see you here. Good to see you here. Okay, so the thing tells you how to be a Christian. And that's how you become a Christian, because you listen to what you saw. The stuff on the third floor has more meaning than the stuff on the second floor. That's a problem. That's a problem. When all you really need is the stuff on the second floor. The stuff on the second floor gives you all of the stuff that you need. And it's simple. It's easy to understand. You don't need a preacher or a pastor. You don't need that. And it really comes down to something very basic. But if you can picture Christianity. The store is labeled Christianity. The bottom floor is the Old Testament. It's what the Jews believe, their Bible. And it's that. It's the Old Testament. Second floor, Gospels. Third floor, the rest of the New Testament except for Revelation. Fourth floor is Revelation. Spooky stuff on the fourth floor. Very spooky stuff. Don't live your life based upon Revelation because you'll start interpreting it yourself. Third floor, not it. What we learned yesterday is the apostles had a very different mission than Jesus. Their thing was very different than what Jesus did. So why would we focus on that? Well, we'll leave that for another day. There is an answer, but we'll leave that for another day. Okay, so talking about today, here's the plan for today. I will be at A Brighter Beginning by 8:30 to take anyone who wants to go to Faith Fellowship. I'm thinking Isaiah. I'm thinking Deborah. I'm thinking, okay, well, fast forward. At 10:30, I will drop those people off and pick up people to go to Trinity. So Trinity, I'm thinking Mitch. I'm thinking Kaylin. I'm thinking Rebecca, Becky, not Becky. And I'm thinking, I can only take 3 people. So 3 people go to Trinity. And 3 people go to Faith Fellowship. So I would say Isaiah, Becca, and Deborah or Kaylin. They're equally good. They're just different, but they're equally good. I would say Faith Fellowship is more on the intellectual side. And I would say Mitch and Kaylin would be better suited going to Faith Fellowship, though I know that we have a relationship with Tony at Trinity, but just doctrinally, Faith Fellowship is a little bit more doctrinally advanced. There's a little bit more thinking involved, a little bit more of a message involved. It's I'll just leave it at that. They're not, one is not better than the other. They're different. I go to both. We can take 3 people at 8:30 for 9 o'clock service. We'll be back by 10:30. We can take 3 people to 10:30 to Trinity, pick them up at Trinity for Trinity at 10:30. And then, of course, there's always the question of whether Matt is going to go to Reset, see his pals there, have dinner, socialize, get out a little bit, not be stuck at ABB, be around people, which is a good idea. And Matt could take 1 or 2 people to Reset. So, of course, good attitude. And we're going to try to get Charles involved in the routine, get him out and about. But for now, that's the thing for today. So Mitch, between Mitch and Sophie, if you can figure out who are the 3 people that want to go to 8:30, maybe Frankie, who are the 3 people, right? Maybe Frankie, who are the 3 people that want to go to 10:30? I'm thinking you guys decide. I'm just going to be the driver. I'm going to be driving Miss Daisy. Okay. And with that, let's say and cut, because I've got to get on the Peloton. And I'll see you at 8:30. Okay. Bye.